We are live. Thank you for joining us here at the Battle Lounge. I am your host, Ski Sonic, and with me today, I have another very special guest continuing in our series of local legends. We got one of the best all-around players for this area to ever exist. He's been good at 2D fighting games. He's been good at 3D fighting games. That's a rare feat. So I'm happy to take some time and talk to Lud today. How are you doing, Lud?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Sonic?
I'm feeling good. Happy to finally get you out here, man. You're one of the interviews that we wanted to talk to the most.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Awesome, man. You are, like I said, one of the most recognizable players of the region because you do so well in really every game. You're formidable. You're a threat. I think even players that if I don't know your name, but I know, like, say Justin Wong, say a Ricky Ortiz, those players are going to be able to say, oh, Lud, this player is a threat in any bracket that we face. So I want to do what I always do and look back a little bit and ask you, how did you get into competitive games? How did you find this drive to compete? And I'll preface this by saying, I know that you used to put out a lot of Chun-Li videos, and I know that you used to play Tekken, but those two things didn't necessarily imply the level of player that I was going to see when I started to see you doing really well. So what brought you to the scene, and how did you get there?
I've been playing fighting game pretty much, I guess, my whole life.
Yeah.
I was born in Africa, Cameroon, so I started playing there when I was like around 12, 13.
In arcades?
Yeah, in arcades. So I just saw a random arcade. I walked in and I saw Art of Fighting 2. Then I played and I used my favorite character of all time. Well, it's Chun-Li right now, but Yuri was at the time.
Okay.
So I picked her.
Yeah.
That's why I was like female characters.
Yeah.
Because that was the first character I picked was a female character.
Yeah.
So I played Art of Fighting 2. I wasn't good at it. I just mashed buttons. And from then, I just started going to arcades because in my country, Cameroon, we had a bunch of arcades at like almost everywhere.
Really?
So I used to play SNK games, Neo Geo games. That's what I used to play all the time. I was into Street Fighter at the time. Then until I moved here in the United States, like maybe 2000, I think it was 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to live in Sycamore Park, Silver Spring area.
Okay.
I went to high school there. And then there was an arcade in the Silver Spring Mall.
Silver Spring Mall.
I think.
Yeah.
Forgot what it's called, but I used to go there like after school. And that's where I started kind of playing Tekken. It was Tekken 5. And
that was your first Tekken, right?
Yeah,
that's really
Tekken
what you
5.
Started with. Wow.
Well, I played Tekken 2 in Cameroon, but it wasn't like that. Yeah.
So I played Tekken 2 as a child, but I'm not good at Tekken.
Yeah. So I played Tekken 5 there at the arcade. And that's where I started seeing people playing at a better level. Because before I was just a casual player. So I was still playing like as a casual level. And I was also like messing around with Third Strike, but I never like played Third Strike in that way.
But Third Strike was kind of popular.
Yeah, it was popular.
Arcade.
It was like Tekken 5 and then Third Strike. Everyone was playing those two games. And then like we had to move. My family had to move from Silver Spring to Waldorf, which is in Southern Maryland, where I live now. Mm-hmm. And when I graduated high school, I started going to the mall arcade there called Pocket Change. And I forgot it changed its name to something else, but I forgot what it was. But it used to be popular. A lot of people from like Virginia used to come down there and play Marvel 2.
Yeah.
It used to be popular, Marvel 2. So, but when I first got there, I used to like play Tekken 5 a lot because that's the game I used to play. But no one else was playing Tekken 5 in the machine. I'm like, why are these people playing just Marvel 2? Like everyone was playing Marvel 2 in the machines, and I was like, okay, let me try it. so I was like, okay, I didn't know how to play Marvel 2 at all. I never played it. So when I started playing within like the first month, I started beating everyone. Like I started being one of the better players there.
Yeah.
In the arcade in Waldorf.
Yeah.
So I started meeting the local players there.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. So I became friends with them. I don't know if you know, like some of my friends were like Haru, John. like Abishai.
Oh, yeah.
You might know Abishai.
Definitely.
Like some of the locals there.
Sure.
So we became close friends and played a lot. That's where I started playing a lot with. And I think I became the best player in the arcade. And then when Street Fighter 4 came out, that's where, that's pretty much where I started practicing more and learning about frame data. And I started going to tournaments I don't want to skip this fate. Like, you remember Just Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. I played Tekken 5 with him, Tekken 5 DR. I played a lot with him. And my first tournament game was with him when I used to travel with him and Seiko and Darnell. We used to travel a bit to go like C3s.
Yeah.
C3s in Virginia. Those were pretty popular at the time.
Before Xanadu, we had C3, and that was really like what held the mantle. But after game time,
I came around like I was going there towards the end of it. So and then Street Fighter 4 came out, and I used to go there during Vanilla Street Fighter 4, and I played. But I wasn't winning in vanilla because I always used to lose to like Eric Kim Sagat or Steve H. Sagat.
God.
And at the time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why am I losing like that? So I just went home and kept practicing my Chun-Li stuff. And then when Super Street Fighter 4 came out, I went to my first Xanadu. I remember that. And then I think I won the first one there. It was against Steve H. And then that's where it started for me locally.
Yeah.
So that's where I came. I guess I became the player to beat in Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, you would have many battles back and forth with Steve H. Through the years. You guys were clearly on top for a long time.
Yeah. And after that, I guess I was known as a player in the scene.
Yeah.
And then I started traveling like to bigger tournaments like. What was Seasons Beating?
Yeah.
I think my first one I went to, I got top 16. So from then on, I think I was in the name in the FGC.
So you mentioned playing with Steve at Xanadu, and you think you definitely won one of those early tournaments against Steve, but is there any other like standout matches in your mind, like ones that make an impact, ones that made you know that you are competitive maybe at the next level once you had done the Xanadu thing and you started to travel a little bit more? And I know that you have a lot of top 8, top 4, top 3 appearances, so maybe the ones that like kind of broke you into that mold.
It's a hard question for me to answer because I mean, in Street Fighter 4, I was always confident with my Chun-Li.
Yeah.
But when I started playing like to higher level, people that I thought were better than me or that have been playing tournament for a longer time.
Yeah.
Like when I went out to the bigger tournaments, I would face like, let's say if I run into Justin Wong.
I was going to say, you would play Justin.
I did run into him. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm pretty comfortable at fighting his character.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he wins. And with the simplest thing.
Yeah.
So I never quite understood why I was losing there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would talk to him about it, and he'll give me tips like what I should do. And I guess, and then but when I would play a lesser player or someone who's not just the one using that character, I would easily win.
You're right. It's a totally different story. You're not doing what Justin was doing.
Yeah. So I would think, like the question was. So because of that, I would think, I'm at that level where I feel I'm one of the better players.
Yeah.
But I still can't beat to Justin Wong.
Yeah.
To just
that's interesting how that goes. I think a lot of players would have a similar story like that. This is a question that I ask everybody, and when I asked Seiko, for instance, he said, I don't feel like I've had that win. And I feel like that's a similar thing to what you're saying, just because my memory of you one of my memories of you was like doing very well against Justin Wong. But if you did very well against Justin Wong, that's not the same as beating Justin Wong, right? That doesn't really stick with you in the same way. And I feel like a lot of us are still searching for that, even though you can be like, you're a great player, and I don't think anybody would say that you're not, but like sometimes like the one that you really feel like gets you over the hump it's just incremental and you're still trying to get there.
Yes.
Well, You said that you were going to these C3 tournaments. Was it in Tekken that you started to understand games better, and then you took that into Street Fighter 4? Like, I want to understand how you were good at Tekken before you were really understanding frame data. And it sounds like that sort of came up a little bit later as a Street Fighter 4 era, and I bet that made you an even better Tekken player.
Okay. I was a super casual player at, like, when I play like CVS2 at home casually, you know, even like playing Tekken casually at home, I was super casual. Yeah. And so I never understood how to properly play CVS2. And even with Tekken, I never learned, like, around that time when I was going to tournaments for Tekken 5DR, I never learned frame data. I started learning frame data in Street Fighter 4. So Street Fighter 4 was the game that actually taught me, oh, this is -2, this is +2, this is, you got to do this after you block this. Yeah. So before, I just used to go off my instance and just play like that way. I still kind of do to this day because I don't always follow the frame. Yeah. But Street Fighter 4 was the game that introduced me.
I think it was like that for a lot of players. Yeah. You know, even in CVS2, the frame data guide came out. You know, it was released for download. Yes. You know, allegedly, and everybody had access to it, and I had access to it. I remember. But I definitely didn't understand frame data until Street Fighter 4. I didn't understand it like intricately. So when I would go back and look at what I was doing in CVS2, I was realizing that, you know, a lot of the stuff was already taken care of for me, because in that game and a lot of the previous games, the hit stun and the block stun were the same. But when Street Fighter 4 came out, that was incredibly different. So it forced us to learn frame data even in the 2D games. And then if you were playing a 3D game, then that knowledge would propagate as well.
Yeah, that's why, even though a lot of people talk bad about Street Fighter 4, I still think it's my favorite game. Yeah. Even though I won't play it now because I don't play older games.
Yeah, I don't play old games.
But it's still my favorite games.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Don't ever come to me trying to play CVS2. Get out of my face with that.
I'm the same way. I'm just too lazy to try to go back and try to relearn everything from the past.
Awesome. Yeah. But how did you start making combo videos? How did you just start doing that kind of stuff? Because you had ridiculous execution. I want to know, where did that come from?
I used to make like Marvel 2 Chun-Li combo videos. Wait, what? Because I like, when I like a character and I like a character, I just stick to that character. So I used to watch other people make combo videos. I'm like, I want to do that too. So I used to like use my camera like the old days, like filming with your cam video and just like try multiple times, stop, record, and use like photo bucket to like edit videos. Wow! So I used to do that. So I don't think my execution is all that great, but like it's good enough to, like, you know.
Oh well. Yeah, I feel bad.
No, I mean it's good, but it's not. You know, if I want to do something, I'm not afraid to like go for it. You know, like even in tournament, like I would just go for it, because if I miss, I just miss, you know.
Wow, that probably helps quite a bit, because I'm scared every time that I'm going to miss everything that I do.
Yeah, if I have something to show, I'm going to go for it, you know.
Did you do anything before fighting games that like kind of gave you a competitive mindset, or you just?
No.
Yeah. Everybody didn't.
No. Fighting game kind of saved me. So like it kind of saved my life, because like I have like other issues going on. Ooh. So like fighting games is just like, it saved me from like a lot of stuff. So that's why like I think I will always be playing games. Yeah. You know?
I mean, that's really special to hear. Yeah. Do you want to talk like what at all about like what did they give you, if you don't want to talk about these other issues? What did they give you that you weren't finding elsewhere? You know, maybe that's a good place to talk.
Well, being like gay and the LGBT, like in my family, I can't really like be open about it like that, and you know, and like finding a character like Chun-Li, I like what she represents. You know, like that's usually why I pick good characters, and like I don't like evil characters most of the time. I always like go for good characters, and like I just like Chun-Li, and then like she she represent like good and she's positive.
She really is.
So like I have a lot of negative things going on. So I always look up to Chun-Li to what like characters like that with like good role models.
Positive.
Yeah,
like
so-
just like Justin Wong and his John Cena stuff.
Yeah.
All of his characters.
So like when I play video games or fighting games, I don't have to think about what's going on with the other stuff, you know. Like I mean, you can't escape it for like forever, but you know, but it just puts me in a better mood, like overall. So I enjoy going to tournament for that reason, because like I'm away from all that negativity that I have to deal with.
Definitely.
And I mean, it's not just like being gay. It's just like a whole lot going on with me that I just can't discuss here. You know?
I get it, man.
But like a lot of people in the scene will never understand that, because like when they see me, they talk to me, I seem like a happy guy because I'm always smiling when I talk. Yeah. So that's what I want, because I think I'm a happy person, but you can't be happy, even though like you want to be happy, but you can't be happy because there's stuff that's stopping you from being happy.
Yeah.
You know, but video games, that's what pretty much saved me from like, you know, doing harms and that kind of thing.
That's awesome. And I think it's similar story for a lot of people, finding community, finding somewhere that you can put a lot of energy into and feel like you're getting something back, feeling like you have a place to go. I mean, the camaraderie aspect for me is why I kept coming back, you know, and I can still right now, if I'm not feeling good about anything, I know that if I get a good competitive set in, at least for those few hours, I'm locked in on that, you know, and I'm not thinking about how I'm going to like get my next paycheck, or like where I'm going to go, or like how my future is going to be. Like none of that really comes into play. I'm super locked in. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. And also just traveling.
I definitely love traveling and meeting other people, because I always try to meet new people. You know, make new friends.
Talk about what it was like being a sponsored player in the Street Fighter 4 era. Did you get much out of that? Did you find that it was something that you would have liked to pursue? I mean, I know it was still early in the fighting game community for that kind of thing, so I think experience were kind of a mixed bag for most players.
Street Fighter 4, I think I was sponsored by the TMG. Yeah, I think that's like one of the first, like the early first, like teams. And I mean, I didn't get too much from it, but it was just nice to be part of a team back then, because there weren't that many teams then. So I was just like part of the first team of like the Street Fighter 4 era.
Yeah.
And I mean, I made a couple of friends with like teammate like Dr. Chaos. We were real close. So we were like still this day we still talk. So I guess that's something.
Dr. Chaos.
Yeah, I'm still really good friends with him.
Awesome.
So I guess that's something I can treasure from that.
Yeah. Are you still sponsored? Do you still talk to sponsors?
Right now, currently, I'm sponsored by THD, their higher group. Right. Like we're they mostly focus on the local team, local scene. Yeah. They don't want to reach out to like other states, because they want to help out people from the local scene.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good team, because they like treat us pretty well. Yeah.
I think local sponsorships are important. I mean, a lot of this is trying to build relationships with businesses, and if you have local players, then you can reach out to local businesses and kind of focus that way. And I think that that's a strategy that's in place for a lot of other games and still has some potential in fighting games.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, how are you enjoying these games nowadays? This is it can be controversial, a little bit contentious, but like we've established, you are playing a lot of games you've played even before you were competitive, and now we're in like what a lot of people would call the post Street Fighter 4 era. There's comeback mechanics in games, and there's like the armor mechanics. There's every game seems to have something like this, and it's definitely different. Do you enjoy it? Do you still find the same kind of love?
I mean, I understand like the newer games has its problems, but I think it's necessary for like the newer, because the companies are just trying to make money, and they want to appeal to a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
So yes, sometimes I question it, why is it easier for this person who's only been playing for a year and again, like going against this person who's playing forever,
right.
and they're playing like they're on the same level.
Right.
So I question that sometimes, but I understand, like your newer games. I mean, it's easier for a player now to like get better because they have all these resources like YouTube, like they can go back and watch the match like the day after, or even like an hour after they've just played, like a review and like study.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, you didn't have that. You have to wait. So like it's you can get better faster now. Yeah. So players are getting better faster now, and I mean games are not better, but I don't mind it. I don't really mind it. Like I think it's good because the more players we have, the better it is. Like, and I don't have a problem with it really.
Yeah, and it makes it's a lot more competitive just because of the things that you're saying. Just because there's more access to resources, and what I find is that a lot of players, the competition is the most important thing, the thing that they come back to above everything. So even if they enjoy the game less than the predecessor, the fact that there are more people playing it than the predecessor, it makes them keep coming out to tournaments.
Yes, you also have to understand, like if the newer games that are coming out now, if a person who's never played fighting game, like let's say a 15-year-old sees the game, this is new to him. This is what fighting games are to him. So he won't be thinking, in back in Marvel 2 they did this. No, it wasn't around. So this is what Street Fighter 5 is. This is how the game is supposed to be played. Yeah. Maybe you might be complaining 10 years from now that back in my Street Fighter 5 days it was like this. But currently this is what it is. Street Fighter 5 is the game for him.
Yeah.
So they make it for the current generation. So we can't be talking about back in like Street Fighter 4, back in CBS 2, you can't say that to a 15-year-old, like a newer player, because that's irrelevant to them.
They're like, okay, boomer.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here with your trip guard footsies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now we have comeback mechanics because this is what we do.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. But it's like you're saying, it's just part of the new paradigm, and we could talk about the implications forever, but I just wanted to kind of get a feeling for your attitude towards, because I feel like it's different.
I'm accepting to it. Like I understand, and I welcome esports.
Yeah.
I'm for esports.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not I don't have any.
You want to be playing in a big stadium?
Yeah, I think that's good. It brings more money. Like the arcade days were good, but. But really, we don't. It's not really. I mean, it was fun, but you want people to be winning more money than what we were doing back then.
How do you feel with another aspect that people bring up about esports is just the level of professionalism that players may have to endure or portray? And again, this is another thing that you get divided opinions on. Some players are fine with playing a little bit nicer for more opportunities and money. Some players are more treasuring. They find that like old rawness sacred. Do you find that it's like one or the other? How do you feel about what some of the implications are in terms of professionalism?
I mean, anything in the media really, like even like with the athlete, like the sports, they have to like put up an act. Really, they have to be nicer if they want to keep that check. Like that, I don't really know. I don't really know how that goes, but they can't just be acting wild.
There are codes of conduct.
Yeah, they can't. So with esports, it's almost the same thing. Especially if you're a sponsor, you're representing a team, and you're playing on the big stage. You want to present at your best.
Yeah.
You don't like. You don't want to be seen as the person that, I guess, I don't even know how to say it. Like, the aggressive person, or You know,
So like the
some
rotten apple, the bad
yeah. I mean,
egg.
sometimes there's a crowd for that. You know, sometimes it's okay, but as a whole, I don't think esports wants to represent, like, they don't want that to be the representation of esports.
They want good positive representation.
Because there's like at the end, they just want, like, if let's say if some random family sit at home, they just happen to turn on the TV and they see, oh, it's gamers. They want to see nice people. They don't want to see, oh, why do those people acting up like on TV like that, screaming? They're just playing video games. So they want the best attitude.
They don't want to have to tell their kids to like look away.
Yeah, exactly. They want the best attitude on TV.
Yeah.
So.
I agree, man. I think we're going to see a lot of that. We're seeing it now. There's some new fighting games on the horizon. And we might see it more. But before we get to new fighting games, I want to just dip back a little bit. Like we've mentioned, you played a lot of 2D games, a lot of 3D games, and you've been very strong at both of them. That's pretty rare. Do you find that it was difficult? Do you find yourself unique? Like, what have you done to separate yourself in this regard? Because there aren't a lot of players that I find that can do well in both.
What have I done? I don't think I do anything really. I'm actually a very lazy player. I think.
Then why are your reactions so good?
I don't know. I'm a lazy player.
You play Chun-Li. You do Chun-Li combo videos.
I know. Why? I mean, like, when the game comes out, sure, like, I will lab it a lot, and like, cause I like to, like, yeah, even though in tournament it might not look like it, but when I play casual, I play really crazy. Like, I freestyle a lot. It might not look like that in like, I play really slow in the tournament match. Cause you gotta calm down. Yeah. But like in casual, if you play me in casual, I'm super crazy.
Yeah.
Like I try anything.
Building a database.
Yeah, like I try anything to just test anything to see what I can do here and there, you know. So that's how I come up with things. Like I put myself in really bad situations to like see if I can react to something, or to see if I can stop something that's like a really good move, if I can stop it.
Yeah.
So I challenge stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just how I train myself. But it might not work right now because currently I'm doing that against like Wolfgang, but it's not working with the character. But like he's really good, like, but I always try to challenge the character, but it just doesn't work out in my favor because the damage just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to like 3D games, Tekken, I don't think I'm that good at Tekken, but I just play the way I play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
Do you think that, you know, if you were to devote a lot more time, if you were to stop one or the other completely, that it would greatly increase your odds of doing well in the others? Or do you think that continuing to play multiple games is doing well for your efficiency?
I think I can play multiple games. It just depends on me, like wanting to actually practice. Like playing multiple games is not an issue for me, like because I can do that because I'm already doing that, but I'm just not training. Like if I'm training, then I think I'll do a lot better, you know. I just don't have I guess the drive right now. It's not here because I'm trying to fix some issues. Aside from gaming,
real life stuff.
Yeah,
it's a common theme in the Battle Lounge.
Yes.
So I mean, do you think that is there something? I think I just lost my train of thought. Give me a second here. So playing. Okay, so what do you think has held you back then in Tekken? Because actually what I'm hearing, and this maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, you do very well in 2D games, and maybe you haven't been able to rise to the level in 3D games or in Tekken as highly as you want. Do you think that that's something that comes with experience? Do you think that it's something that would come with grinding? We had Seiko here, and one of the topics that we were talking about is just the time put in. You know, is it possible to catch up with some of these elite players because he also wants to be
yeah,
elite.
with Tekken, it's really hard. I mean, I used to play Tekken back in DR, but I wasn't that great, and then I stopped.
Yeah,
playing because Street Fighter 4. I started playing Capcom game, but last year in May, Combo Breaker, I played against. I was just entering Tekken just cause, and I happened to face JDCR, and the way I played Tekken then was doing Tekken 5 combos. So that's no good. So I got beaten so bad. I was like, okay, I gotta play this game properly. So since then, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start practicing Tekken. So I started practicing, and my result was doing better. I was making out of pulls in Tekken. So, but when I faced like a better player, stronger player, so they will find the weaknesses I have and then just rely on that. And so like with Tekken's legacy, they're protected by that. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
that's fair.
It's something they have with Tekken because Tekken never really changes like that.
You've never seen this 10 string before.
Yeah, like it never really changed. Tekken never really changed, so they're protected. Unlike Street Fighter, it's a new game each time.
Yeah.
So new players are able to beat stronger players in Street Fighter because it's a new game, but Tekken is always the same Tekken. Yeah. Maybe they add a new mechanic here and there, but if they did that with Tekken, it would cause a lot of issues.
Yeah. There's so much.
It will cause a lot of issues. They will understand how Street Fighter player feel when it comes to newer games. But yeah, but I feel with Tekken, if I try to play more and like put more work and be consistent in training, that's the key. You have to be consistent in training. You can't train for 2 months and then stop because you'll forget. That's what happened to me. Yeah. You have to train for a whole year, and if you want to catch up to those players, you have to train like for a whole year because they've been playing since like Tekken 2, Tekken 3. So you have a lot of catching up, and it's like multiple characters, all the strings you have to learn, and because I'm not consistent enough, and I guess I'm not hungry enough, I don't have the results I want to get. Yeah. So. You
said that Street Fighter 4 was your favorite game overall. What's your favorite game that you're playing right now?
Right now? It has to be Tekken 7.
Yeah.
I like Tekken 7 more than Street Fighter 5. Yeah, because it's more balanced, and at the end of the day, the better player wins. Unlike in Street Fighter 5. Yeah, the better players are winning, but they have to put so much more work. Then they have to put like a lot of work. Like the newer players also have to put a lot of work, but it's not. I don't know. If you've been playing for that long, I guess I'm going back to that legacy thing. You shouldn't have to like train that hard just to beat someone who's just been playing for a year.
Yeah, I think most players agree with.
Yeah, so. But that's the thing with I guess Street Fighter 5, and I don't know too much about like the other games, like the current games like Dragon Ball. I don't really know too much about that.
You don't play anime games, Lud?
I do, but I don't play for a long time. Like I've played Persona. I was pretty decent. I played Guilty Gear. I learned it I only played Xrd. I learned it for within 4 months. I was pretty decent around locally. Right. And Blaze Blue, I played the very first one. But yeah, I just never stick because for me to play a game, I need a character that I love and then a goal, someone to beat. Nice. If I don't have those two things, I'm not interested.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you play much online?
I do. Street Fighter 5 because I like streaming, and I'm one of the Chun-Li players. Not many people stream her, so people want to watch Chun-Li. Right. So when I do play online, I will always stream. So mostly for that reason. But if I'm not streaming, I'm not playing online. So.
How does the net play work out for you? You say you play Street Fighter 5 and you're streaming. That's impressive. Do you play anything else online? What's the best experience that you have, and how does that affect your ability to train?
I also play Tekken online.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty equal. When it comes to network and connections, It just sometimes Street Fighter 5 has like the, what do you call it when it skips? Like,
the rollback.
Yeah, the rollback.
Massive
Yeah,
rollback.
When that happens, that's pretty irritating. But training wise, it's always the same. Like I don't care online. Like I usually have a goal. Like if I'm playing to train, I have a goal. Let's say maybe I want anti-air super. So my goal is just the anti-air super online. I don't care what you do. If you hit me with your coolest combo, I would just wait for that. I have that super and focus on landing the anti-air super.
You can do that, man, because I get so impatient. I'm like, this was my plan, and then 5 seconds later, I'm like, I'm just trying to drab you now. I'm just trying to get my BNB off.
Yeah. I think because losing to me is not that like a big deal. It's like part of my personality. So so it's okay if I lose. It's okay. So that's kind of why I don't like pop off or anything like. So it's okay because I just enjoy playing games.
Yeah.
So if I have a goal and it doesn't happen, I just wait for the next round. You know. So if I don't land it, I'm not going to get upset over it. And
do you do any kind of specific training in training mode, or do you do most of that kind of stuff? You even talked about it earlier when you're playing in casuals, you put yourself in hard situations. Do you try to do that mostly in live situations? Do you have any interesting training drills?
In training mode, it's pretty basic. I pretty much do what everyone else do. Just record something and try to punish it, you know. But I think most of my training comes from playing casual on one versus one. So that's when I test a lot of things out, you know. Especially when I play, like in Street Fighter 5, I will, like in casual, I will hold forward most of the time, you know. But in tournament, it's not the case. It's either I'm neutral or I'm walking back, you know, because tournament's a little scarier than that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That life is valuable.
Yes. Yes.
Do you are you looking forward to any big tournaments now? I think we've sort of glossed over the idea that you've been taking a little bit of a break or haven't been playing as much. What do you think is preventing you? Like, when do you think the fire will come back? Was it a new game, big tournament? Is there somebody out there you want to take down?
Maybe a new game, or if like let's say next year, if we start playing Street Fighter 5, I think which we will be playing Street Fighter 5 again for another year. Yeah. I mean, I would travel for tournament, but I would like to play cheap character in case I want Chun-Li to be the strongest character. You know, that's what I want. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't like to say that, but I like it when my favorite character is the best in the game. Yeah. I know she was in Third Strike, but I never played that game.
Yeah, you missed out. So, you missed your
I know. But so season 1 Chun-Li, I love that. So I want her to be the best again, because winning is nice, you know, and you having the best character, you know. Because there's so many strong players, you know. People are equal. They're on equal level. So if someone plays the best character, the chances of them winning are very high. Yeah. You might be on this level, but you play in the low tier mid tier character, you're not winning.
That's true.
You know. So I want my character to be the best, so I can beat them, and they can say whatever they want to say, but they know what they have to do to win. Like Sanford State, pick a top tier.
Pick a top tier.
You know. So I mean, yeah, sure. I like top tier, but I like it when it's my character.
What's your favorite version of Chun-Li?
Season 1 Chun-Li.
Season 1 Street Fighter 5.
Yeah. Favorite at all?
All of the Chun-Li.
I like Marvel Chun-Li.
Marvel
3 Chun-Li.
Marvel 3?
Yeah.
Chun-Li.
I just think she's really cool.
Oh my lord. Didn't she have X Factor speed up in the
I just like the play style.
Lord.
Like I like Marvel 3 Chun-Li. I even like Marvel 2 Chun-Li. Yeah. Like Marvel 2, except for Infinite. I don't like how she looks in that game. So, but I like Marvel Chun-Li. She's really cool.
Yeah. I find that pretty interesting because you play Chun-Li, but you could play her any style, any version of her, whether it be a rushdown, whether it's a footsie, whether it's a zoning.
Yeah, I like rushdown.
Yeah.
I like playing rushdown. It just in Street Fighter Chun-Li is not a rushdown character.
I was gonna ask about that.
because I like the character, so I play the character. That's why I say for me to play game, I have to love the character. So that's why I don't play a lot of different games like competitively because I don't love that many characters.
That takes a lot of willpower to go against the kind of thing that you want to do to play to the strengths of the character that you really love.
That's why I also only play fighting games. If you talk about like 2K, you talk about some shooting games, I'm lost. You talk about Final Fantasy, I'm lost in the conversations because I don't know anything about it.
Wow, you don't play anything else? Not even any single player relaxed games?
Nothing else.
Warcraft?
I call myself a gamer, but not a true gamer, you know, because I don't know a lot about, like when we're talking, I'm in a group with other people, we're talking about games and then they happen to talk about something else. I'm out of the conversation. Like it's not easy for me to be out of the conversation. Yeah.
What are you looking forward? Do you look forward to any current sequels? Because I think they're working on a Street Fighter 6. That's something that I'm looking forward to. But there's,
I mean, that's coming out for sure. Yeah. Like with the new system. But do you mean like with like an older game?
You know, there's
like
the new Grand Blue that's coming out. Have you played that at all? Riot Fighters coming out, looks cool.
No.
Do you play any Samurai Showdown?
I keep like thinking about Samurai Showdown, but maybe
Blaze
when the
Blue
price
Tag?
goes down, I give it a try. Because right now, me trying to play fighting games is not. I don't have that drive. But maybe if it comes back, I give it a shot. But I will try the new Guilty Gear just to try it, and maybe King of Fighters, if the new one comes out.
Yeah.
I will try that one too.
Yuri, man, bring her back.
Yes.
Yuri's ultimate.
Yeah.
So, one of the questions that I actually had solicited or that I had entered from offline was it's kind of a departure. You've been in this area for a long time. You've traveled a long time. But this region has never been the strongest region, right? We've been somewhat overshadowed by, you know, like your New York or whatever West Coast scene is popping at the time. Mm-hmm. Do you have thoughts on what it will take to take the scene to the next level, and maybe not even just like regionally, you know, to get over the hump of beating some of those Japanese players? I know you've had some really close matches on stream with some of them and just kind of getting over that hump. Like, do you have thoughts about getting players to the next level?
Region wise,
what do you think like is the difference? What do you think is that separation point?
That's a deep question. When it comes to DMV, I mean, I feel like we have a lot of strong players.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of strong players. It's just like areas like I guess New York and all like California, because like they're just more popular and then like people are like they have a bigger stream and like more viewers.
Yeah.
So players are feel more encouraged to go. Oh, let me go play at NLBC and be on Team Spooky stream so people can watch me play.
Yeah.
So they have like a bigger reason to go there. And then like I guess like players like Sanford and like Arturo, they're always there. They're always there to play them. Like the newer players that go over there. So they're always there to like play against them. So the newer players go there and then they try to beat them. And then I guess eventually they get better. Like that. I guess that's how Smug came out of nowhere. And now it's IDOM coming out of nowhere. You know, so they're producing like all these strong players. I think we have potential, but I think a better, like stronger player. I'm more like to an anime play, like the anime games.
Yeah.
So Yeah, like in Street Fighter 4, like I guess I was like one of the newer player that came out of nowhere. But now it's like we have anime players that are really strong, and we just have to focus on Street Fighter players because like maybe we just don't have that this time. So yeah, the anime players like we have like what's his name? Oh, God. Like who?
Matt Coma.
Akuma's been around. He's been around.
He's been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
You're talking about a newer player.
Newer player. He plays tag. Plays with tag. Doriavis.
Doriavis.
Yeah, he's like he plays multiple games. Like he's really strong.
Yeah.
I played him in Street Fighter 5. I'm like, this kid is really strong. Like his fundamental is really strong. And then you have the Sam Shaw guy that's like winning right now.
Light Ice.
Like, I don't know where he comes from.
Yeah.
So, but he's really strong. And he's playing multiple games. So like we have players. It just we just have to give them attention.
Yeah.
And I talk to them, but I don't have all like the powers, like I guess like support players, like, but I try to talk to them and like be friends with them, like try to encourage them, like, oh yeah. I tell them, I think it's very important to tell them that they're good. I know like they're always like, tough love. I'm not that kind of person, I'm not about the tough love or like, oh, talk shit on the player. People like, no, that's not my way.
I've never heard you do that.
Yeah. So I tell them you're doing really well. Like I just try to throw positive words to us, the players. That's just how I do. That's my way.
Yeah.
So like even though I don't play those games, I pay attention to their result. I see Doriavis is doing really well. Light Ice is doing really well. I mean Dragon Ball. I know we had a player, but I don't see the player anymore. But in Street Fighter, Wolfgang is good. Like he's doing well. He's doing well, but it's not because of his issues. He can't travel right now. So like,
do you think he could win with Blanca? We were talking about character tier too.
Yeah, I don't think he can win. Like I think, like he can
place.
He can place, yeah, but winning is really hard. Like even though like he's really strong, but people might not know the matchup. It can only take him so far.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he can win a whole tournament. Like he'll have to travel more for that. It's like you always just have to travel more because you're gonna play a player who's just like just counter your style completely, and just like what? And then you might face more than one player who can do that.
Yeah.
So, and but I think scene. Yeah, because like I watched like the other interviews saying that we don't have like the leaders now.
Did you feel mentored when you were coming up at all?
Not so much, but like I had a friend. You might not know him, John. He goes by Heru. Like he was not the best gamer, but like he always talked to me about like gaming. Because like he viewed gaming as like he's a martial artist. Like he views gaming as kind of the same way. So he always like gave me tips. Like he might not be the best at playing the games. Like he always talk to me about it. But no, I had no mentors like Dodge out like. Not like the Rogo V or like nothing like that. We had no connection. nothing like that. It was just mostly just me and my Southern Maryland friends and just playing together.
Yeah. But you still try to like do something for newer players. You still try to like be nice.
I always try to be nice. I always try to be nice. For me, it's more like I need to be friends with people. For me to like. To feel close or to feel comfortable, because like coming from like my background, like I have to be comfortable with you. I have to like this person might not be like making sure this person is like not like homophobic or like transphobic or like if you are, then like just like a big note to me already.
Or just racist.
Yeah, or just racist.
Regular, also like, a brown person.
Yeah, like so I guess like coming in the scene, like seeing how like the people at Xanadu were at first is I guess I don't know, knowing how I was, just I wasn't that comfortable. It's like talking to like the leaders, I guess the leader of the DMV. So I was went to Xanadu and just play and then went back. So I never got that connection. That I guess like when Dacha was coming up, he had like CVH talking to him, playing. I just never got that with them.
Did you find through your time that the community was accepting of like your different,
like you mean like being like LGBT, gay, like stuff like that?
All of this, because I mean, you've been in the scene for a long time. It has been something that has been a pressing issue, and fighting in community.
In the DMV, I would say no. I would say no, because I definitely wasn't comfortable, like especially like hanging out with other people. Yeah. So I would find myself not talk at all. Mm-hmm. So if I'm not talking, if the players are hanging out with you and not talking, there has to be something. Probably they're holding back something.
Right.
So, but it's changing now. It's better now, I guess. But definitely no. But I'm not saying like as something that we're doing wrong. It just maybe there's something that they weren't aware of.
Sure.
It just no.
Sure.
It just FGC as a whole now. It's just more welcoming, I guess.
Yeah. Over time, you find that it's starting to change.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's great to hear. I think it's something that people are going to be pleased to hear, because it is a process. It has taken time, and I remember, I mean, I've been around for a while as well, and I feel like I remember a lot of the things that even I used to say, or I shouldn't say even I used to say, that I used to say, or the way that I used to act. And I think we're all just kind of in a maturing process, growing process.
Yeah. But now, like, people are definitely careful about what they're saying around other people.
Talk about some of these traveling opportunities or these travel times that you've had. Do you have any stick out stories that were just super dope? Like, who did you meet that you found like, oh, there's sick players, there's fun clubs. It's like a different time when I get outside of my local region and I see.
I definitely like when it comes to traveling. So even though I'm not like focusing on doing too well at tournaments, like I still enjoy playing in tournaments.
Yeah.
I might not enjoy playing casuals, but once the tournament is done, it's over. If I lose, I'm out. At tournaments, I always try to make sure I have fun. So I usually have my crew, like Ricky Ortiz and like other people. Like we hang out. We always go. We just hang out. We go out.
Nice.
Like we make sure at every tournament we go out. Like we try to have fun. If there's nothing around, we just go to a local liquor store and buy some drinks and like hotel parties, that kind of thing. So we always try to make sure we have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what, especially this year, that's what it's been around. Especially CO. CO's really fun.
Chun-Li players all commiserating together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that.
We have fun.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those formative experiences. I remember even the old Texas Showdown 5. I woke up in a room and like Jason Cole was there, and I woke up like over a pool of vomit, and I was just like, oh man, like, did I do that? And he was just like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he was like, don't sweat it, man. That's you right there. That was me in the closet. And he's like, don't even go in there. That was one of the most welcoming things I've ever felt. On that note of like going out and just kind of like letting loose after the event is over. I think that's important. I think that's something people need to remember, that even though we're all out here trying to win, we're all out here trying hard to compete, that there's like so much more after the event.
Try to have fun. Yeah. Try to have fun.
Man, we're getting around that time, so we're going to check to see if we have any questions from the
We do.
stream.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask him now. We've had a couple already. One from Flexus. She asks, for players looking to be successful and not give up or get discouraged, what's one piece of advice that you would have for these players? Bud.
Repeat that again, please.
Okay, for players looking to be successful and players looking to not give up or get discouraged, what is one piece of advice from you?
Okay, not to give up. Well, I think it's good, like, if you found like a mentor or a senpai like that you look up to in your local scene, that you feel really comfortable with, you know. So like if you're doing bad, if you happen to do bad, like if you're not getting your results, you have to talk to that mentor or your senpai. Like talk to them, like try to ask them like why am I losing? Like show them like your tournament matches, like record them, try to show them, and then hopefully your senpai like analyzes your matches and like. And then like they have to like I guess like break down your matches and like help you understand why you're losing, and also like especially if you're just starting, you have to understand like the people you're losing to, they had to start too. So they probably like they've been through what you're going through right now. So you're going to win. Like it's coming. It might be like tomorrow, it might be next week, but it's coming. Like don't give up. Like if it's something you enjoy, like don't give up. Like you're going to win. Like everyone wins. Like you're going to win. You might go 1-2. And then it might go up. Like eventually you're going to win. So don't give up if it's something you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, that's a different story. But like if it's something you're enjoying, don't give up. Play. I guess play stronger player and also play people at your level, and then play people that are worse than you, and see and you should compare where you're standing. Like if it's too easy to beat the person that is worse than you, then try to see if you can be better than the person that's on your level. And if you can beat that person, then make it a goal to like take at least a match against the person that's much stronger than you. And if you do that, then that means you're progressing. So that's how you might not win in the tournament match, because those are hard. There's a lot that goes into it. Nerves, so you drop a lot of combos, and your opponent is already used to tournament. So, but if you play in a casual match, you have to make goals. This is how I train. So you just always have a goal when you're playing a casual match, and maybe just make sure you're anti-airing that time. So if you land the anti-air but you lose the match, hey, I anti-aired. That's all that mattered. So that's how you have to look at it. Don't look at I went 0-2 today. I went 0-2 again. You can look at it. Oh, I anti-aired. I landed the super that time. I punished the -2, the -1 or -3. I punished it. So that's how you have to look at it. Don't give up if you enjoy it. That's my answer. If you enjoy it, don't give up. Because I enjoy fighting games. That's why I play, and that's why I only play those kind of video games.
Not even a Final Fantasy?
No, never. I will never touch it.
Wow.
Never.
Well, you're probably saving yourself a lot of time that way. So maybe that's why your execution is so damn good.
Okay, so to paraphrase, your answers were to find a mentor who can help guide you, find a rival who's around your skill level, so that you can play and not get discouraged, and to not focus on results, but instead focus on personal growth and use that. Yes. Okay, Ski, did you have anything to add to that or anything?
Yeah, I think just to piggyback on that.
I want to say the person who asked the question was Flex.
Yes.
Hi, Flex. Love you. I'm a fan of her.
Awesome. Yeah, I think like if you have a game plan and you're trying to implement this game plan, then you have something that you can focus on. Either it's working or it's not working, right? And that kind of goes back to the fun of it, right? It's fun to try to work this puzzle, to have a thing that you're trying to implement. And if that fails, sometimes you may have trouble identifying it. And that kind of goes back to talking to your mentor. But when you start to progress in fighting games, you can lose sight of like an actual game plan because you try to do everything, because you start to know the counters to everything. You think, all right, well, if I'm -3, then I've got to get my 3-frame jab. I'm 4, I get my 4-frame jab, or get my turn started. Then I have to also anti-air. I also have to block the slide that's coming. Also, there's the guess activate or whatever. But a lot of times when you get back to an even higher level and it kind of loops back around, you were just looking for this anti-air, right? Yeah. That was the thing that you were focusing on. And that's the thing that can win you the match. And sometimes when you talk to another player, they'll tell you that you just weren't doing this thing. And you find out that like the things that you were worrying about might not have been as important. And sometimes just measuring like the weight of the things that you're paying attention to can take you places as well.
Cool. All right, we got a couple more. Darkchild wants to know, with you not really playing other games other than fighting games, would you ever play a game with Chun-Li that wasn't a fighting game, like Puzzle Fighter or Tekken or anything like that?
I downloaded Tekken and I did pick Chun-Li, but I didn't understand it. I played it, but I played like 1 or 2 matches and I got crushed because I was just mashing on this, like just selecting for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't understand. So not in the long run, I would not play. Not really. Like if someone, like a friend asked me, "Oh, let's play," they have to like really force me, and then I would do it. But Puzzle Fighter, I never played it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it. No, it's strictly fighting games for me.
Puzzle Fighter is good.
I'm not saying those games are bad. It just
You've never played a card game?
no.
Magic the Gathering?
No,
What?
my interests are very different. No, when it's like video games and then like music and then like movies, like it's just different for me. Like,
Okay. You know what? I actually wanted to talk about the previous question about like getting discouraged and stuff like that, because I do have a pretty good anecdote about this. I've been playing fighting games my whole life personally, and I didn't really get into competitive fighting games. My first time really fighting people that were really good at the game was Cruz. I went like 0-50 against Cruz's Yuri in Third Strike. And, I remember I just wanted to keep playing. At no point did I ever feel discouraged. At no point did I ever feel like, man, like I'm aggravated. I'm frustrated. I can't get my grounding or anything. I just wanted to play. So my advice is like, if you are playing the game and you're getting frustrated and you're getting aggravated, it's okay to walk away from the game. It's okay to pick another game. You don't have to play, like sometimes I feel like there are a lot of obligations now and there's a lot of pressure once you enter the FGC, once you enter the community, that you have to keep up your presence and keep up appearances because you're worried people might talk about you. Oh, he left. Oh, he's washed up. Oh, they never were any good or anything like that. Like, don't even worry about that. Like, if you're not having fun, don't play the game. But I would also say, as Led said, weigh your expectations. You should expect to lose. You should expect to lose for a long time. That is a realistic expectation if you're just starting out. But we have some more things here. Champion 410, he's got a question that's not a question. He says, Lud is the best. Always supported him. And I'm not just a fan of video game players, but a big fan of Lud. No question, just a comment.
thank you, champ.
Awesome, champ.
Darkchild says, agreed. Always have respect for Lud. I don't and never had an issue with him personally. You just got to be yourself, even in the presence of others. I just hate fighting his Chun.
Thanks, Darkchild.
Flexus says, you're one of his favorite people. You're one of her favorite people in the community. Respectful, classy, and honest.
Yeah, she's great. Flexus, she's great.
Eponut says, no other games at all? Not even tic-tac-toe, chess, poker, nothing? I'm
terrible. Like I'm terrible at anything else.
You don't go to Vegas and gamble a little bit? With,
I'm even bad at playing like those kind of games. Every time I go to Vegas, I forget how to play blackjack. Like I'm terrible. Like I only know how to play fighting games when it comes to gaming. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm good at.
That's a good genre to be in, I think.
Okay. Ski, did you have more questions?
I think we're getting to the end.
Okay. There is one question I wanted to ask, Led.
Do that.
I had prepared some questions to ask you, and you answered them all organically throughout the interview. But we had a little bit of a catchphrase that was forming here on the Battle Lounge over the first couple episodes. We had a theme of players coming on, and at some point in the interview, they would mention that the scene was getting soft.
See, I don't like that word.
What does that mean to you?
Because it's like when people are saying soft, not even just in the FGC, like and just in period, like in life, it just like they're trying to like represent like weak. They also use that like in the
it's kind of misogynistic.
Yeah, like even like in the gay like to describe gay people like trans people as well, they call it soft. Like if a guy does something that's like super masculine, that says soft. So I just never liked that word. So and I mean it's also very insulting to like women, like period. So what are you saying? If like what are you trying to say? They're being girly, or like if a girl is just soft? There are strong women's out there. So I just don't like that term. If a gamer, or like if I don't know, like if the I guess what's an example like? Can you give me an example like in the scene like what that will?
Okay, I think I can verbalize this pretty well. I think it was pretty clear the context was that the competitive drive was lowered and that rivalries used to be real and there were grudges that they would carry out of the game. And when it came time to compete with people from other regions, they would really bring that heart and it really meant something. And at least I remember Rugal B, when he would say that people were soft, he was like specifically setting examples of people wanting to hang out and be friendly with each other instead of focusing on like directing their competitive drive against them. Is that Ski? Did you have anything to add to that?
People wanting to get top 8 and not winning the tournament.
Oh, people just wanting to place instead of focusing on winning. But specifically, I wanted to ask you because I feel like that is a criticism that. It's a perception that a lot of people have. And I don't think it necessarily implies, I don't think it's necessarily a criticism about the more accepting nature of the FGC that we have today from the FGC that we inherited. But I do think that it is a byproduct. I do think it is an indirect thing. Right, the more accepting FGC, I think, is an indirect contribution to a friendlier FGC. And I guess I would ask you. I think you've pretty much already answered it, but I would ask you if you think that is worth the lowered competitive drive. If that's an even trade-off, which one would you take over the other?
I would take the friendlier FGC supportive FGC, like over, what was before, Yeah,
Ski, I'm sorry I cut you off. You look like you had a lot to say about this, so I'm curious.
No. Yeah,
okay. Good.
That the word soft is, I mean, you can use it, but I don't think it's good like to describe the current FGC. It's better for players to support it, like support themselves like in the friendlier way. Yeah, I guess like they still used to do that, but I guess like as a whole, like I think if you go to Xanadu now, like people are just nice to each other, Yes, they're not like back in the old days. I guess they're not like, it's not as loud. Like Maryland used to be like one of the louder like FGC scene, but it's not like that anymore because like it's the new generation. It's just like things change, So you can't call that soft. It's just how people are, Yeah, people like whenever people go to tournaments, they always want to place. They want to win. The goal is to win. No one is saying I want to make top 8.
Yeah.
Deep down they want to get first place. Some people just know the limitation. Sometimes they just know. So it's like, oh, hopefully I can get here, but I want to win. But like, I know my skills and I know their skills. I know. Maybe I didn't practice this week. I might not make top. I might not make first place. So I know. Hopefully I can break to top 8. So they're not saying, oh, I will be satisfied if I make top 32. It just, they know what they're doing right now. They're not going to win. Because comparing to the first place, obviously the first place is the one winning.
Yeah.
Because like you just look at the Japanese player. They're playing 24/7, comparing to you're playing and then you're working and then you probably have other things to do. So are you going to win against someone who's playing 24/7?
Yeah, or even just some professional American.
Yeah, exactly. So when people say, "Oh, I want to make top 8," that's a goal for them.
Yeah.
You can't shit on them for that. You can't say that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of that is such like the rose-tinted glasses of players thinking that it was so much better before. It's just every generation has
I think
this.
it's better now, honestly. Like even like back in the days, like I mean, I hear like the scene here used to do better. I think the New York players and the West Coast players was still winning. I don't think the DMV was ever winning. Like
we didn't win either.
Yeah, I don't think we were ever winning here like that. Like I hear a story about CBS2, but I think it was those stories usually are towards the end of CBS2 when like people stop playing CBS2. But I don't think they were ever winning like that. Even when I watch like the old like videos on YouTube or like Alpha, I don't see MDVA play or like DMV people like in the archives like that.
Yeah, there's nobody ever beat John Choi from this damn state.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like, I mean, I think we're doing better now. Like, we have better results. You know, we might not be winning, but like I've been Daigo. I'm one of the people that beat Daigo. I can say that.
God.
You know, I've been Daigo, Kazunoko. I've been like a bunch of Asian players.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Top players.
You know, I can say that. You know,
yeah.
I'm not a bragger, but I can say like if people want to say I've been with these people. Like when they see me at a tournament, they know where I am. They come, oh, let's come to my room and let's go play. Because even though I'm not doing well right now this season, but they know who I am. You know,
you've earned that.
Yeah,
respect.
so like I don't have to prove anything anymore. Like
Yeah.
those. That's how it is.
I think that's huge, the way that you just put it right there.
Yeah.
You can tell those folks, okay, Boomer, or for the Street Fighter version, okay, Sonic Boomer.
Yeah.
Tell them, like, that's old. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Okay, Sonic Boomer, get out of here with that old head shit. That's not real. Players are better now.
Yeah, I think players
They're
overall are better. And we have a lot more players in diversity. You know, you just can't. I just don't like hearing that old days talk because like it wasn't all that great. I just know it wasn't all that great.
Yeah,
it's just better now. You know, you have Light winning. You have Boom doing well in Soul Calibur. You know, he's also one of the legends of our scene. Like people don't give him enough respect. Like he's one of our best players. You know, multiple games.
Yeah,
you know,
really good.
Like he's one of our best players.
Real talk, man. A lot of times it was just easy to beat people back then because they would make mistakes and you could punish them for their mistakes.
Yeah.
Everybody's so much better now that you can't make that the basis of your game plan. You have to learn how to go mix people up, attack people, open them up now. And it's really made everybody play better.
Yeah, and I also think tournaments are harder now because there's so many more players.
Yeah.
Before it was just a certain pool player, and you already knew who they were.
Yep.
But now, random players are good. So you might lose to a random player because you don't know who they are, you know, because everyone is strong now. The games are easier, so everyone is strong. So tournament play is harder.
That's very true.
So I think players that are better, and you know, it's harder to win it now because before back in the day, you go against someone who's not good, like a player you don't know. You easily beat them because like you just had the advantage.
It was so great.
Yeah, you just had the advantage. But
so
now
great.
it's hard to get that advantage.
I'd be like, I could get beat down for the whole match, but I'll get Psylocke once.
Yeah.
I'll like block and call Psylocke, or jump in, block, call Psylocke, and then I'm gonna kill a character off of that.
Yeah, chat's really rolling now. So if you guys can sit back because you know, chat's doing the work for us. But so we got a couple more things to say if you guys don't mind hanging around for a little longer. Flexus asks, what's one mechanic that would make Chun-Li more viable in Street Fighter V?
Street Fighter V mechanic, like changing the game mechanic.
More recovery on normals for everyone. You think that would help Chun-Li?
What if
That's my big
the
question.
reversals were actually good?
Hers?
Any of them? I mean,
some are good.
hers is pretty decent though, right?
No,
she's got one of the worst ones.
No, I mean it's fast. It
Right.
just doesn't do anything for her.
no
like
knockdown.
it's just fast, you know. But she doesn't get anything. Like a mechanic, you can't say mechanic because then you have to it will adjust the other characters as well.
What do you think that she needs?
To be strong. Let's push back. I think that's what kills her the most. Like when she got nerfed. Yeah, they took out like the cheap air legs, like the light kick anti-air, but it was mostly the pushback on like her strings. Now she's like too short. She's like so far, and then her throw range is like one of the worst in the game already. So let's push back on her normals.
So your strings are stunted.
Yeah, she can't really pressure you well. Like, I mean, she has walk speed, but it's not scary with her, you know. I don't know. Like to make her strong, she just has to be cheap. I think that's what they have to bring back air legs, and I think even if they bring air legs back, people will react to it now better because it's not A-frames anymore. So, but you just have to make her cheap again.
I got a suggestion. What if she had an anti-air option that went through fireballs? Like, a lot of these characters, like Minot, has her EX, air grab and stuff like that. I feel like that's one area that Chun-Li really suffers, is that she doesn't have a catch-all anti-air response. She really has to think about it. And EX SBK is not consistent.
It's not. I mean, it's Chun-Li. She's never an anti-air
Right.
character.
She's not supposed. She's supposed to have spotty anti.
Yeah, she's never an anti-air character.
She rules the ground.
Yeah, it's not really an anti-air thing. It just maybe I think like the pushback is the big thing.
Yeah.
Pushback. If like she need pushback, she needs to stay close and be able to throw. Because if she has those two things, then she's stronger. Like a pressure.
Right.
Because even her shimmy damage is not even that good. So. If she could get like something better off far strong, if she get far strong ES like every time, then that's a big difference.
What if heavy legs knocked down?
Yeah, that'd
Would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple more. This is fun. We could do this all night. Me talking about funny balance changes we could do, but we got a couple more. What mechanic do you want them to bring back for the next SF is the question. But I think we can just ask, what mechanic would you like to see in the next Street Fighter?
It's definitely custom combos.
Custom combos.
No, it's not custom combos. It's the worst mechanic in Street Fighter.
Mechanic.
I like those Alpha 2 custom combos. Don't talk shit. Those are good. Those are cool. You don't like those? It wasn't cool that they were unblockable if you were standing when they activated, but I thought they were cool.
Like mechanic. I don't know. Like, because I'm pretty well at adjusting. Like, if I like the game, I like the game. That's why I don't play previous versions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't mind Street Fighter 5 mechanic too much, and I didn't mind Street Fighter 4 mechanic either. Because I like both. It just Street Fighter 5, it's just a little over the top sometimes. So like I'm pretty sure they'll bring something new, completely new in the next series.
It's still gonna have some crazy comeback mechanic though.
Yeah.
It's gonna have that.
Well, maybe less of that. Like. Yeah. Less crazy comeback mechanic. Maybe that's the one thing I don't want anymore. Like, if you're losing, you're losing. Like, sure, you can come back, but not off like I can just like do something on block and then it's my turn. Something like that. Like a sweep on block and then you can lose from that. That's really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, and I got one more that I was thinking about earlier. So you talked a little bit about mentorship, and the reason that New York is so strong is because they have strong mentorship. And specifically the way you framed it was that because they had strong players, other players would work on it in order to be able to defeat those players. But you didn't specifically say that the stronger players, the Sanford Kellys, were going out and like really training these young players and teaching them how to play and mentoring them in a more hands-on way. I do think personally that is a pathway to success for a region. We had DJ Hoshin here, who's in the chat now. He was here a couple days ago and he talked about how he got good by playing Steve H a lot. And I can attest, I played Steve H as well. I played these games my entire life and I never learned as much as I did when I played a lot with Steve H.
Yeah.
So I would ask, like, how do we implement that? Because it's a lot. It's a lot to ask a strong player because a strong player is already expending a lot of energy practicing and staying competitive. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time and work.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be worth it. Obviously, that's a unilateral exchange, right? That's only a one-way exchange. The stronger player, or at least in the short term, right? The stronger player training the newer player, the stronger player doesn't really get anything out of that. It could be viewed as a long-term investment, but what is the pathway that you maybe could suggest or that you could see to help realize this? The strong players in the scene really getting hands-on and helping the new players rise up to the next level.
Like, even like in Street Fighter 4, before, like when I was going to Xanadu, I used to host my own locals in Waldorf called Coin Up, and we had it was mostly like brand new players, like really new players, they didn't know how to play, so that's where OG Yon come from. That's where like Yon come from. So when I met him, it was like mashing buttons, like from Street Fighter 4. So like I had to like teach him not like Like,
How to
don't do
not
that.
mash
Like, so I had to like clean his play. So I taught him how to play. Yeah, having someone who's already good, like a strong player playing against a new player really helps the newer player. So they might not the stronger player might not benefit from it too much, but I mean I enjoy teaching players. I like seeing like if I trained that player, he's doing well now. I think now it's a little different now because like there's so many games. There's so many different games, and the community is so much bigger just online. Just like it's just easier for like newer player to get better. They don't have to like, let me go see Steve H and play 100 games, like, you know, because like, I have work out of college and everything, like, so it's like I can just like watch YouTube videos and like play online. So the people are trying to get better in different ways now. Yeah, sure, they might play Steve H. Like, I'm just using Steve H as an example. They might play Steve H, like, when they see him locally, like, 1st to 10 here and there, like, but they might not be able to go to the locals all the time. It's not, like, the grind is different now. I think that's what it is. It's different. It's just different. Yeah, people still want to get better, but the grind is different. And even, like, locally at, let's say, like, at Xanadu, there's so many games are being streamed, and people get there from like 7 to, and it's open like from like 6 to like 12. So right. The time is short. So yeah, even when I see like Josh is there, he plays casual, but like he plays with like Metro M. Like Metro M is also like he's one of the newer players. Yeah. Like he's really hungry. So he plays a lot. He plays against Darkchild. Sometimes he plays me, because even though I don't play casual as much anymore, but he plays Darkchild a lot, and he also tries to play online a lot. Even when he's at Xanadu, he plays a lot online there. So like, wow. Yeah, he does. Like, so I think, yeah, maybe back in the day it was better to like come, because you didn't have all those resources like going to YouTube and like playing online. That's why people did it that way. But now it's just different. You can play against a stronger player, and then you can go home and just play all day online, because that's what people are doing, and building a name for yourself online. Yeah. That's also what people are doing. They're trying to be the best player with the character or a known player online. So I don't know if I'm answering the question, but I just think it's just different now.
It is. If I could add anything, I would say coffee, tea, beer, water, right? Like those are 4 things that you want to have at your location of playing games. And then if it's somebody like Steve H, you could throw chicken as the number 5 on top of there. And if you have chicken, it has traditionally been a great form of currency in exchange for skills. You have chicken, and then the chicken is in exchange for the skills that are bestowed upon you through playing games. You know, you're trying to have some fun, try to make like an experience out of it, and, you know, find some people that you can make friends with. And it's not always necessarily the best player. It's not always Steve H. It might just be somebody that's like a little bit better than you, that you have something in common with. And you guys, you know, chat it up at the tournament, and you say, hey, let's like get some games in. But it's hard to level up at that tournament menu. And so if you can find one time out of the week, maybe today, like you said, the grind is different. It may not be live. Maybe it can just be somebody that you get like a good net play experience with, or like a good 2-3 man lobby, sometime where you can like play some sets, sit and think about the set, and then like run it back and like try these ideas, because it's so hard to really level up just going to the competitive event. You know, you'll learn stuff there, but you need some time to like pull forward on the stick, you know?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you this as well. This is related. So how many new players are coming up to you, Lud? You are the monster of our region. You, Steve H, and Darkchild are the strongest players, and I think you are the favored player. How many people are coming up to you, new players, and asking you for advice, asking you for sets?
A lot.
Okay. So the new players are doing their part.
Yeah, they do ask me. Like they do ask me, if you have time, can you play me? Can you play? Even in Tekken, even though I'm not the best player there, people still ask me, wanting wanting to play. So I'm like, yeah, sure, we can play. But I always, when I play, I always like put a number on it. I don't like to randomly play.
Yeah.
Because, I just don't. Like, cause right now I don't want to just play casually.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna play, when Metro M asks me to play, I say you have to put a number on it so I can focus. Otherwise, I'll just be on autopilot the whole time.
Yeah.
So if you put a number, then I can play it seriously. If we're not putting a number into a first to three, first to five, then you might not play me on my best. I'll just be on autopilot.
Yeah. Flexus shouts you out. She says, Lud mentored me for about an hour or two, and so did Peachan. And I saw such a drastic improvement in my gameplay. Lud is an amazing mentor.
Yeah, we did that on our stream.
I think that I that is huge. That is actually something that I wanted to mention. But you said putting a number on it, and for me, my experience is I'll play a set online with somebody, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because if I play just a 2-man lobby, I never feel bad that it's laggy or that something happened because you're just going to get right back into it. But after an hour or so, you kind of do fall into the autopilot and you may not be learning, you may not be trying, or you may be over focusing. And I think that's one of the reasons why having like 3 players can help, because it breaks it up. But if not, taking some breaks, putting a limitation on it and telling yourself, okay, I'm going to stop here. And then when it gets down to those last few sets, those last few games, you can really try to put something into practice and try to put it together.
Play with a goal, don't just play.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to have fun, you just play it. But if you have a goal, then put a number on it. And it's like, if you're trying to beat someone and you challenge them to play, put a number, That's how I am.
I'm not here for fun, man. I just want to get better, and that's fun. If I'm not any better at the end of the set, then I'm upset.
Yeah,
that's huge. That
is something we tried to implement out in Hawaii. Near the end of my time there, the strongest players out there, Leviathan and Dagger G, they they kind of came to this idea that the scene was getting weaker because of the whole culture of First to Infinity. Our brains were just turning off. There were no stakes to play for. We were just sitting there playing and playing and playing and playing. So they ended up coming up with these little cards, like little placards with little flip things, first to whatever. And these stations, they made sure all the stations were a first to something because they were saying that in the arcade days, the threat was, losing your money, but also getting kicked off and having to wait to play again.
Oh,
it was
God, that was the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
And it sucks even being in like an 8-man lobby and going all the way to the back. It sucks. But this does create some drive for you. And that's what they decided. Now, I don't know if that would bear out in the statistics to be a thing that really, drove people to succeed. But it's an idea for other regions out there that are looking to do the same thing. It's something we did. It was fun. All right. I think that's pretty much it for my questions. Ski, if you have nothing else, I think we can wrap up. Led, if you want to shout anyone out.
Well, shout out to the coin up guys that I came up with, the people from Southern Maryland, Waldorf. Coin up to the whole DMV scene. We're all friends. I love you all. And coin up to Siskanic. I think you're really great at this. And thank you to Master Supreme for hosting all this for us. I know he's leaving. Sad about that. And yeah.
If you guys had summer year round, I would stay forever.
We didn't hear you.
Sorry, I said if you guys had summer year round, I'd stay forever.
Oh,
I mean that.
Yeah, and support your locals. Come to Xanadu, go to the cave. Don't stay at home. Come out. I've been around. I still go to my local shop. It's very important for you to show up. That's all I got.
Awesome. I think we have come to our close. This has been the Battle Lounge. Again, I know I didn't ask Glud what he's watching on Netflix, but he said he's watching Atypical, right?
Oh, I just...
We can talk about that now.
Just finished Atypical.
I just finished Atypical season 3. I like indie style kind of shows.
Okay, we got one last question for you. It's a new one we're going to try.
Yeah.
All right. Take maybe your favorite fighting game or any fighting game. Let's say Street Fighter 4 or Street Fighter 5. All right. If there's one character from any movie, any TV show, any comic book, any anime that you could add into that game, what character would you want to play?
I mean,
And
There's a lot.
it could be
but
like Antonio Bender. I'm sorry. Don't listen to me.
oh, there's a lot, but like I love like strong female characters, like strong female leads. Periods. I'm just a
That's
big
a whole
fan.
category on Netflix.
So. And there's this old movie called Wing Chun with Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, I love that movie.
All right.
So
all
her.
right. All right.
So her. So her.
yes.
So I will add her.
Sick.
You know?
How is she not in a fighting game?
Good question.
She was an action star in that period where everything was being fighting gamified.
Yeah.
You know?
There could be a whole Wing Chun fighting game. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
A whole like Chinese masters of cinematic martial arts games. It could have crossover. It could have Michelle Yeoh and Jet Li and Jackie Chan and secret DLC Bruce Lee, Donnie Yen, Bolo Young. What?
Yeah. Amazing.
God. All right, it sounds really good. All right. We got it done. That was all of our questions. Thank you so much, Lud, for joining us. Y'all can follow Lud on Twitter at LudThinks and look for him at upcoming tournaments. Encourage him to play out this hopefully final year of Street Fighter 5, and then when Street Fighter 6 comes out, he can smash up the charts with Chun-Li because she's going to be dope. It's going to be great. I'm going to be looking forward to it.
Yes.
I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you guys all again the next time we do this. Thank you for joining us this week. Again, I'm Ski Sonic for Lud and Dude Master Supreme. That's going to do it for us this week. We love you all, and we'll see you soon.